Welcome back to another Disney conversation. We're glad you joined us this week. We're really excited to talk about the news. But before we get started, let's talk to our expert panel of Disney fanatics. Guys, introduce yourselves, please.
Howdy, y'all. This is Splash here.
Hey, this is Sparkles.
It's T-Bone.
Welcome, guys. Glad you could all make it back. Let's jump right into the news this week. All things Disney. Saw this week. We have a new toy out there. It is a Guardians of the Galaxy Groot, Mr. Potato Head. And I'm pretty sure you guys had a Mr. Potato Head back in the day. But what do you think about having a Groot Potato Head?
I'm not surprised. I think it was about time for a revamp. And I think that that's the perfect character for it.
Yeah, because he's just such a lovable character. I mean, I think you're right. They're probably about to start rolling out a lot more Guardians of the Galaxy. Just little toys.
It doesn't look like the typical Mr. Potato Head, but I like it because I feel like especially kids nowadays who are gonna get it probably don't really know what a real Mr. Potato Head looks like. So I like it.
Well, how fun is a Mr. Potato Head? The little character baby. It's a baby Groot. It's not a adult Groot. It's baby Groot with the eyes and the hands and stuff. Did y'all think that was fun back in the day?
Yes.
That was a long time ago. Definitely before iPhones and PlayStations. So, I don't know. Kids today seem to be much more involved on electronics than they do toys like that. But,
yeah,
I don't know.
I still think it's a fun, neat little thing just to play with.
Would you buy one?
Well, if you're a parent that has a young kid, then yeah.
I feel like Austin said, even if it is a young kid, even the kids that I've had to look after before, they don't want to play with just toys. They go for the game, the phone, or the iPad. So it's a good idea. It's cute. I don't know how many, they're probably going to sell a lot, but still.
You know what I think of when I think of Mr. Potato Head is I think of Toy Story.
Mm-hmm. I do too. I'm surprised they didn't make a Baby Groot Mr. Potato Head app, where you get to buy clothes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, put that on your birthday wish list and the Christmas list, and
yeah,
maybe you'll get a Baby Groot Mr. Potato Head. I can see that being y'all's Christmas presents this year.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Tyler's all for it. He said he wants one.
Yeah. Put that in the stocking.
Stocking stuffer.
Well, let's look at some other news. Let's see. This one was kind of interesting. Who is Emma Watson?
One of
Hermione Bell, Hermione Granger.
Do you guys know what Emma Watson's kind of famous for, other than her movie roles? What's she known for? Do y'all know?
Feminism. That's one of them.
Feminism, and she doesn't take a lot of pictures, I understand.
Yes.
Not.
I think she says it's for safety reasons.
People can track her.
Right. Well, in the news this week, there was a young lady named Teresa Chiara, and she had skipped out on a trip to go to New York City with her mom because she had a big biology test to study for. So she stayed home, didn't go into the city. And wouldn't you know it, Chiara's mom runs into Emma Watson out on the street. Teresa tweeted that she was studying for that exam when her mom called and was showing her that Emma Watson was standing behind her. And then mom turned around and approached Emma and asked if she could talk to her daughter and say hi on the cam, and she did that. I mean, are you surprised that that would happen? Can you? I mean, I guess you hear about this stuff all the time, but she was just standing on the street, and there's Emma Watson standing behind her. Number one, do you think that's interesting? And what do you think about Emma Watson? She didn't turn the mother down. She went ahead and said hello to the girl. So do you, number one, are you surprised that happened? And number two, do you think that stars need to be more careful about being photographed in social media, letting people know exactly where they are when they are?
I want to say I'm surprised, but New York's one of those cities where you could run into probably anybody just by accident, as that mom did. I mean, that's very lucky for her to have done that, but still. I kind of agree with it, though. I kind of agree with her decision on wanting that privacy, because that's true. If someone takes a picture with her and posts it, then people know pretty much within like a 5-mile radius where she is. Almost at all times, she lets everybody take pictures with her. But at the same time, I feel like stars in general, everybody just seems to know where they are, no matter if they want them to or not. So it probably helps, but it's out of her control.
Yeah, I think with all the things with she doesn't really do pictures or anything, I think it's a little out of the ordinary for like her to do that. But I mean, Allie, I know you would appreciate that if you were studying for a test and got called by a famous celebrity.
I definitely think that's neat. I mean, that would be cool. Just get a FaceTime from Emma Watson. I mean, they are still people though, so they can't just go hide in a house somewhere and never go out. I mean, we ran into Tim Duncan at a Bass Pro Shops after a game one time. So, of course, we didn't go up and ask for autographs or anything, which I thought was, I mean, he was with his family, so I didn't want to bug him. But, I mean, I don't think they're ever going to just totally be hidden from people.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to our next story. Let's see. The Disney Tourist Blog was asking this past week, when is the best time to visit Disney World? Like what calendar week? And I was thinking about it. You guys have been to Disney World in March, in June, in July, and December. So y'all been there 4 months out of the year. I want you to think for a second. Out of those months when you've been, can you pick one of those months as being a better time than the other? When was the best time that you went?
I have to say December, because the humidity was much, I mean, it's Florida, so it's not super low, but it was lower than it was in the summer and even spring break, in my opinion.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that, because then, I mean, even when we went in winter, it wasn't cold.
Mm-mm.
It was enough to where we didn't have to, I don't know, it was really nice. We could still wear shorts and like t-shirts, but be comfortable. During summer, for sure, it's almost miserably hot out there. And spring break is still really hot too. So definitely December, where you can still wear t-shirts and shorts, but be comfortable.
Yeah. During March, it's really bad humidity wise. So it was a lot better to be there in December when, like y'all were saying, it's still not cold, but it's not near as hot as it would be in March.
Now, I know y'all are talking about spring break, but I've got pictures of us in July, and we look pretty miserable at the end of the day.
It was hot.
I don't know if y'all remember. It was
hot. Well, and the heat, like in the Magic Kingdom, it's concrete everywhere. And so the sun not only bakes you, but it bakes on that concrete. So everywhere you go, if you lean up against something, it's hot. Like the whole park is just hot.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I love being at Disney World, but going in July was rough.
July is like one of the last on the list. Yeah, it's last on the list.
I am pretty sure that after our last trip in the summer, we all decided we didn't want to go back in the summer.
Mhm.
I don't. Do y'all remember? Because it's been a little.
Yeah.
It was bad.
It was hot, and then we stayed at Fort Wilderness that last trip, and so then you have to ride the ferry back after a full day in the park, and the boat has been sitting. So
The
even
seat
after you leave the
burned.
park, you sit in this hot plastic seat trying to get back to your cabin, and you stick to it because you're sweaty, and it was rough. It was brutal.
Yeah. The humidity is just unbearable sometimes.
And it rained pretty much every afternoon
Hmm.
in that summer trip. I remember
Mhm.
being at Epcot every afternoon watching the clouds roll in, and it would rain hard.
Yeah.
Of course, then it would go away, but after the rain left, it didn't really cool things off a whole lot. It just felt even more humid.
Hmm.
So I'm hearing y'all say December. Is that right? That's your favorite time to go?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I think so.
saying
Well, I
it's
mean, there were even some days I had to wear a hoodie with shorts. I mean, but it was in the 60s,
yeah.
and I thought that was just perfect.
Mhm.
Yeah, if you just have sort of kind of a light jacket to go.
Mhm.
I don't think we've ever been when it was really cold. I do remember we were at Magic Kingdom on a New Year's Eve
Yeah.
one night, and it was pretty chilly that night.
Mhm.
But the sun had gone down and stuff. I don't think we've ever been to Disney when it was real cold, but I think it does get cold.
Yeah. I mean, there's a picture if you scroll down through this. I mean, through the website, there's a picture of Magic Kingdom. It's a castle and there's snow everywhere. I'm pretty sure it doesn't get that cold, but
Well, and you're talking about snow. Dad, you remember a few weeks ago, the Magic Kingdom flooded. We've also never been there when it rained that much,
It
like
looked
it
like a
was in
river.
this.
It was like a
Yeah,
river going through there.
yeah. So we've been pretty fortunate that we didn't have that kind of a deal either. But
Well, according to the Disney Tourist blog, they've decided that the best week to visit Walt Disney World is the Sunday after Thanksgiving through the first Saturday of December. And that does sound like a pretty good time to go to me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Christmas
Yeah.
decorations are just then going up, and it would be neat to see them decorate the trees and stuff.
That's what I'm thinking. I was like, if you get to see
Yeah.
the Christmas decorations, it's definitely worth it. But seeing them do all of it, that'd be cool.
Their second best time was the last week in September through the first week of October, which is really hard for you guys in school to go to that kind of stuff. Y'all are very busy during the fall.
Mhm.
The third best time they'd say is late February into early March. And I don't know if y'all remember the last time we were there on spring break, the beginning of our spring break week was pretty nice. I mean, there were some crowds, but it wasn't horrible. But if y'all remember I think our last day was Friday,
Yeah.
and that day at the Magic Kingdom was just horrible. We
It was
decided,
packed.
y'all remember, we decided to go get a Dole Whip that day, and they were serving so many Dole Whips when they gave it to us, it was just like mush melted
Yeah.
already.
Yeah. I mean, it was still good, but yeah.
Yeah, we tried to go through the shops on Main Street. I mean, that was the last thing we were going to do before heading out. And it was just shoulder to shoulder
Yeah.
all the way down Main Street.
And then the
in the
parade
shops.
came through, and so everybody was packed right outside the doors. You couldn't move.
Well, when it's that crowded, is it worth being there? Is that a yes or a no?
I would say if you can find a better time to be there,
But
then
what if you can't? Would you still
Honestly,
go?
it's Disney, and if you're okay with a little bustle, of people do it. But yeah, you gotta be okay with it. You gotta be ready to move and push through people.
Yeah. I mean, for me, when you think of Disney, one of the first things I think of is crowds. So I think you have to know going into it that you should expect there to be a few other people there too, you know.
Just a couple.
Mhm. But we're also fortunate that, like when you plan trips, Dad, we've already got our fast passes and everything lined up. So we don't have to wait in as many lines for rides and things like that, which I think helps a lot.
It does. Just having things planned out.
You know, this is kind of a pivot real quick, but heard some rumors this week that they were actually experimenting and thinking about maybe selling fast passes. What do y'all think a fast pass would be worth? What would you pay for an extra fast pass?
Oh gosh, how it is now? I don't know if I'd pay a bunch for it, because the way it is now is a lot of people can get fast passes for a ride. I mean, you could sit there and wait a long time just for the fast pass line. So as right now, probably not much. But if they do start selling them, I feel like they could charge a lot of money for that, because a lot of people don't want to wait in line. Like for Space Mountain or Tower of Terror, now people would pay big money just to get a fast pass for one of those. Really hope they don't do that.
I agree. I hope they don't, because then you're going to start. I mean, people are going to be willing to pay for it, and then you're just going to crowd up the fast pass lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fast pass line could get close. I mean, it really probably wouldn't be as long, but it would get close to maybe the standby line.
And then the standby lines are going to be way, way longer than they are now. I mean, way longer, which is not good. I mean, they make those standby lines long enough for a lot of people, but still, they still get full now with a bunch of people having fast passes.
Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Six Flags, and they've probably done this for a little while, they will sell an upgraded ticket to where you have like a permanent fast pass entry.
Mhm.
Can you talk about that? And is it worth doing that? And how does that work at a place like Six Flags?
So the last time I was at Six Flags, you can buy just a regular fast pass, which is like Disney. You get like one an hour, or however they do it. But you can buy upgraded tickets that will let you stay on a ride for as long as you want, even. So, like, let's say you're on the Batman and you're in the first car, you can just keep riding as often as you want, and they won't kick you off. Of course, I think those tickets are several $100s a piece, but they have 3 or 4 different levels of fast passes that you can get.
Well, let's say a regular ticket is $100 and then that unlimited fast pass is $200. That seems like a no-brainer to me. Yeah, I would do it.
I mean, I would too, but I feel like because it is Disney and Disney has so many rides like Tower of Terror, Rock and Roller Coaster, it'd be a lot more than that. The difference would be higher. And for the people who just can't, I feel like there'd be complaints for that, because Disney is something way different, whole different spectrum than Six Flags.
Well, but Dad does have a point. I mean, you would be willing to pay a few extra $100 if you got to just go whenever you want, as much as you wanted.
I mean, yeah,
But I mean, I think with the amount of people that are at Walt Disney World, I just don't know that they could sell something like that, because that's just going to slow your ride turnover rates down.
because let's say everybody on Rock and Roller Coaster wants to keep staying on that ride because they have that pass. Well, then that's a cart that they're not running that other people could be using to help speed up the other. Yeah.
You know, and to me, it probably wouldn't be something like if I had a annual pass or something. I mean, maybe it would be so expensive you couldn't do it. But if a family was going to make a trip to Disney World once every 10 years, it might be worth paying double for tickets to get to do a lot more fast passes. Because just think about it, we've gone days before we've done our 3 fast passes and maybe one other ride, and that's it. I mean, we've left the park and gone to do something else because the lines were so long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
it'll be
certainly interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see how that turns out. Our next story, and I don't know if you guys even remember this, because actually, this ended about the time Splash was born. But it's a long running show. It's called the Mickey Mouse Club. Then there was the new Mickey Mouse Club, and it was a TV show. But 1996 was when it was discontinued last. But they're about to reboot the show. And don't know if y'all heard about this, but they're talking about it being called Club Mickey House. And it's going to air exclusively on Facebook instead of regular TV. What do you think about a show, and being backed by Disney, it'll probably be very good. What do you think about an exclusive show on Facebook? Would you tune in there? Is that a good thing? What do y'all think about the Facebook aspect of this new show?
I think that's definitely interesting. I feel like I would just be watching a YouTube video that someone shared on Facebook, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, before you say that, let's look back at the history of this show, because this was a very iconic show for Disney. It's basically kids. Okay. These are young kids that are part of the Mickey Mouse Club back in the day. But listen to this former cast list. Justin Timberlake was on there. Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, Ryan Gosling, J.C. Chazes, which he was one of the big singers with NSYNC, Carrie Russell, famous actress. And there were many more. You can go back to the original, and you've all probably remember those older names back from the 50s and 60s. But if they brought, and they're not saying right now who the cast is going to be, but what if they had some really good talent like these guys on there? Are you tuning into Facebook then?
I think.
Well, I still think I would watch it. Sorry, Tyler, you can continue.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I mean, never mind. Splash, you go.
I definitely think Disney will make a good show. I just think it's kind of weird that you watch it on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it just seems like it's one of those things, you're scrolling through your wall and you see YouTube videos that other people share and you click it and watch it. Of course, I haven't seen this yet, but I feel like that's kind of what it would be like. You're just kind of scrolling through your feed and, oh, there's a TV show. So if you're like me and you only get on Facebook from your phone, then you're just going to lay in bed and watch TV off your phone.
I feel like they would have had a better chance with this probably and reaching more people if they were to do it on Netflix. Because I know I don't have Facebook. I mean, a lot of people that I know don't have Facebook, but I would watch something like this. But I feel like if it were on Netflix or something, a TV show like that, it would make more sense and it would be more open to people, especially like my age and younger, who don't have Facebook.
Is Facebook not cool? I mean, what is it? Instagram? Does it need to be on Instagram?
I almost wouldn't use social media at all.
It would not fit on Instagram.
It doesn't.
No.
It wouldn't fit on anywhere. I feel like the only place social media it would maybe fit would be on Facebook. But the smarter move would be Netflix. I don't know why you'd put it on Facebook as a TV show. But
Twitter experimented with National Football League games, and I tuned in on Twitter one time. I guess to me, it doesn't really matter. I mean, if you're watching a screen, I guess it doesn't matter what platform it's on to me. I don't know. What about Twitter? Would Twitter be a better place?
I don't think so.
I feel like I would have the same problem.
Yeah.
I guess it's
Yeah.
how you use social media, though. Because like I said, I only use it on my phone. And so I'm not going to want to sit there and watch TV off my phone screen. So you'd have to change the way you do it,
Yeah,
obviously.
it's just hard to fit something like a TV show into a program like Twitter, Facebook.
I don't think Twitter could do it because Twitter and Instagram have a thing where they don't really do long videos. Like if this is a TV episode, it's probably 25 minutes, I don't know, something like that. Those platforms don't do that. Instagram does stories now like Snapchat, and Twitter does live feeds and broadcastings, but they don't really do TV shows. That's why I think it really only fits best with Netflix or something. But
Well, it'll be interesting to see who they get on the show.
Yeah, I'm excited to see who gets put up for that.
All right, let's see our next story. Now, to me, this was a very interesting story. Walt Disney World is said to be testing a fleet of driverless shuttles that'll take people around the theme parks and resorts. And this is coming from the Los Angeles Times, who probably knows a little bit about Disney. But the plan, according to the Times, is that they'll do a pilot program that'll take employees in these driverless vehicles, probably from the parking lot to their job areas, and then they'll start trying to shuttle guests at some point about that. Think about all the ways we move around Disney World. What do you guys think about driverless vehicles? Are you getting in one to go? Is that better than us driving ourselves or the buses? What do you think?
it'd definitely be an experience. Because I feel like Disney will do, like, I don't know, one of my most remembered things we used to get everywhere was the bus and the music and all that. But I feel like this is pretty, like, so this is like an Uber driver with no driver. I don't know how they'll get that to work out, but, you know.
I think that, I mean, Google's been working on a self-driving car, and so have several other companies. And so far, no one has a good production driverless car. And so these shuttles, I mean, the Disney buses drive in regular traffic.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I might trust the bus, but it's still in regular traffic with other human drivers. And so I don't know how Disney thinks they can master this if nobody else has so far.
It could be like a van of some type. Not sure how you get in and tell it where it's going, or maybe it's like Uber where you have an app on your phone and you say you're wanting to go here, but I suspect it'll be more of a regular shuttle type vehicle.
Mhm.
The shuttles that take you from the parking area to the theme parks now, those big long trams.
Yeah.
Um, I can see where maybe they would even want to automate that. It's probably just a cost saving move on their part. And that's a whole nother deal where they save money by not paying people. But
Right.
what do y'all think? Do people at Disney make a difference? Because for the most part, they're very friendly.
Mhm.
Those cast members really make the experience what it is. Do you want to see less cast members?
I love the cast members. Like the people who do drive the shuttles and things, and at the very back, they're always making jokes and joking with everybody on the cart and still making sure everybody's safe. I like all the cast members, but I also think they're needed because without those cast members, that's going to be a whole nother mess, especially in the parking lot.
Well, I think, you're talking about trams, the parking trams. I think those would definitely be easier to automate because they have their own tram lane. So they're the only things running in there. But I think they still have to they're going to need a conductor still because, people are still going to keep trying to board and get off even as the tram's getting ready to go. So you have to have someone or a way for it to know that it's safe and everybody's out of the way, which you can put sensors on there, but I still just don't think we're quite ready to get rid of that human interaction yet.
I don't much mind the 16-hour drive we take to Florida from where we are. But I'm looking forward to driverless cars. Can you imagine getting into the car and taking off and kicking back and not really driving? I mean, can y'all imagine that world?
Honestly, sorry, I was going to say I can, but I still wouldn't trust it. I'd still wait up just to make sure nothing bad happened.
I mean, for that matter, a startup has started making a flying car prototype. So then you cut your, 16-hour drive into 4 hours. And if it flies itself, that's even better.
Okay, sign me up.
Yeah.
I'm ready for the driverless flying cars. Tesla, come on, Tesla, bring it out tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right. I think we're down to our last question for the day, guys. And it's just a poll. There's no right answer, but if you could only choose one of these times to go to Disney World, kind of going back to what we talked about earlier, would you want that one time to be a week at Disney World itself or a week on a Disney cruise? Which one would you choose? A week at Disney World, a week on the boat on a Disney cruise?
I'm hurt. I don't want to choose.
So this is just purely based off like our experiences so far.
Yeah.
Because we've been to Disney World a lot more than we've been on a cruise. So I would say choose a Disney cruise. And Sparkles, I already see you making that face. So that's my opinion. I would choose a Disney cruise just since we've been to Disney World so many times.
Well, Tyler, you've been on a couple of cruises with Disney. What did you like about the cruise when you've been in the past?
Going just Imagineers made it a lot of fun. I remember the last time we went on one. Man, that was a while ago, but there was a little area, and like I said, it was a pretty long time ago. I was only in 3rd grade when that happened. But there's a little area, and it was where little kids could go. And the Imagineers there, I remember this. The Disney Imagineers that were there made all of it just so much fun. And going on a cruise, just going around, we went to Mexico. It was so much fun to be able to go to a different country and just see all that from a Disney vacation. I still see you, Sparkles.
Oh gosh.
Go, Sparkles. It's your turn. I'll go after you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I loved the cruise and it was a lot of fun. I definitely would do it again, but I almost want to say Disney World, just because I love going and traveling, and that's what I love doing. That I think that's the best game to see all the new things. And the Disney cruise, of course, the Disney cruise has free ice cream, movies at night. I mean, it's really cool, but I don't know. I think Disney World. You don't have the feeling of I'm stuck on the ship in the middle of the ocean, no matter how amazing the ship is. I don't know. I feel like you can just go and do more when you're at Disney World and you're on solid ground. So,
See, I'm going to take the other side of that, and I'm going to agree with T-Bone and say I would rather spend a week on the cruise.
Yeah.
Because when you're at Disney World, even though it's a ton of fun, you really don't get to relax that much. I mean, you are there relaxing, but when you're in a park every day, you're still having to hustle and you're having to keep deadlines and it's busy and there's crowds and you're just having to hustle. Whereas when we're on the boat, you just wake up and you go up and you have a great meal and you get to go out on the deck and just relax and look at the water and just you really get to enjoy being there.
Play shuffleboard.
Shuffleboard, exactly.
get to know our waitress.
So I don't know. I think I would enjoy the cruise more because I would rather just get to relax and enjoy the Disney atmosphere. Because it's just Disney and it's perfect and it's great and you just get to sit there and soak it all in.
All right. So 2 for the Disney cruise, 1 for Disney World. So we'll have to visit with Mom later and see what her vote is.
Well, what's your vote?
Well, we were talking before the show there, Splash. Actually it's May the 4th. May the 4th be with you, by the way.
Yeah.
It's May, and there is a Disney cruise selling out of Texas in December, but it's almost full. It's fully booked already and has been for a while. And there's very limited spaces available. It's just getting harder and harder. And I think, Splash, you were telling us a few weeks ago that Disney's going to build 2 more boats.
Hmm. They're going to be even larger than the last 2. So their fleet will be up to 6.
Well, it looks like they need it because of the limited availability right now. We were kicking around things to do Christmas of this year, and we checked on the cruise, and it wasn't going to work out with everybody being able to go because of space. I mean, they were down like some classes of cabins had no availability right now. Anyway, so we'll look at Disney World, but I want to go on a cruise again. I enjoyed it too. I'll tell you what I would want to do. I want to go on a Disney cruise through Alaska in the summer.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be the perfect cruise.
That'd be.
I don't know, going to Key West and all that was cool.
Yeah, but then you can have baked Alaska in Alaska.
Well, that's awesome, guys. This was Disney conversation number 4, and like we said a minute ago, may the 4th be with you. 2017. It's always fun talking to you guys about Disney. I can't wait till we have another Disney conversation
Next week. I'm excited.
All right,
Stay tuned.
Well, guys. Again, we'll triple your pay from last week, and we'll see y'all next week.
Ooh,
Bye, guys.
6 cents.
Bye. See y'all later.
Bye.